Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly thrilled you're joining us today because honestly, we're going to unpack a concept that is brief, sure, but absolutely powerful. It's just a single phrase from our source material, but it literally holds the blueprint for completely transforming how we view both education and business. If you love seeing how structured learning can kind of ignite real-world action, well, you are definitely in the right place.
So I want you to start by imagining something with me. Picture your traditional classroom, right? Desks and neat little rows, textbooks cracked open, maybe a teacher up at the front. Okay, got it? Now mentally grab that image and smash it right next to a high-stakes, bustling corporate boardroom. Crazy, right? But what actually happens when we collide these two totally separate worlds together? What happens when the safe, theoretical bubble of a school environment meets the wild, unpredictable nature of free enterprise? Well, that exact intersection is what we're exploring today.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the core concept. And here it is, the exact source text we are analyzing today. Young Entrepreneurs for School Students. Now, I know it's exceptionally brief, but don't let that fool you for a second. This tiny little sentence fragment proposes a dedicated pathway aimed squarely at a demographic that, let's face it, is usually just told to wait your turn. It's basically saying, hey, the business world, it isn't just reserved for adults with fancy degrees and decades of experience. No, it is explicitly for the youth who are sitting in middle and high school right now. Okay, let's dive into this a bit deeper in Section 2, defining the entrepreneur.
Let's make sure we ground this explainer in some undeniable facts. So by definition, an entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business, taking on financial risk to create value. Did you notice the active verbs in there? Organizes, operates, taking on. Those words require a massive departure from just passive learning. It actually means spotting a gap in the market, organizing the resources to fix it, and embracing the risk to bring something totally new and valuable into existence.
Because the entrepreneurial spirit we're seeing in our source text, it's fundamentally about taking bold, real-world action. It's not just having some great idea floating around in your head. It's about actually executing that idea. For a young person, this means stepping way out of the comfy confines of a grading rubric. It means shifting the whole goal from, just scoring an A on a history test to literally creating something tangible that solves a problem, serves a community, and generates real, actual value.
Which brings us to Section 3, the student dynamic.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the direct contrast in mindsets. Think about the traditional student mindset for a second. And hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It focuses heavily on hitting those grades, absorbing theory, and following a highly structured path. But then, on the flip side, the young entrepreneur mindset completely pivots. Instead of just chasing grades, the focus shifts to creating solutions. Instead of just learning theory, it's all about applied learning. And instead of just following a structure handed to them, it's about taking the initiative to build their own. It's a real game changer.
But here is the absolute secret weapon. Students already possess the exact traits that prime them for the business world. Think about it. They're naturally curious, right? Their brains are practically hardwired to ask why and how. They are learning new things on a daily basis. Plus, they are constantly surrounded by this massive network of peers. In business terms, that's literally a ready-made focus group or even a team of potential co-founders sitting right next to them. Add in the time management skills they get from a structured school day, and you've got the perfect recipe for a startup.
Let's move to Section 4, merging school and business.
Let's see how this builds into a highly practical journey across 3 really critical steps. Step 1 is where everyone starts, just soaking in the fundamentals of math, communication, and science as a student. Then we hit Step 2, the pivot point, finding an entrepreneurial idea to actually apply that knowledge. Maybe it's, using a math lesson to budget a neighborhood landscaping gig, or using computer science to code a new app for the cafeteria. And finally, Step 3 is the culmination, executing that idea out in the real world. And this brilliantly illustrates why our anchor quote today is just so incredibly potent. Young Entrepreneurs for School Students. It isn't an oxymoron. It's the perfect synthesis. The youth brings this raw, untamed energy. The school provides the foundational knowledge and that awesome peer network. And entrepreneurship? Well, that brings the action and the value creation. Together, the whole shebang forms this incredibly powerful engine for early innovation. So the crucial point we need to take away is this. The goal is no longer just to survive the education system until you walk across the stage of graduation. Actually, scratch that. The real goal is to view the classroom itself as an incubator. It's this amazing safe space to test ideas, to fail, to learn, and to iterate. Combining school and entrepreneurship empowers our youth to stop waiting for the real world to finally begin
and instead lets them apply their education right now to solve the real problems they see around them today.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to really chew on. Whether you're a student yourself, a parent, or an educator, what kind of young entrepreneur could you be? Or, maybe more importantly, who could you empower to become one? The tools are right there, the knowledge is already being taught, and honestly, the opportunities are entirely endless. It really just takes that one little spark of initiative. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I truly hope this sparks some absolute game-changing ideas for your future.